It's actually Okay. So it's actually our kind of university's general ranking, and also some of the subject specific as well. So we have included, for examples, that the UK ranking and also U world ranking. So depending on the color, as you can see, so we actually try to check every possibles of those different rankings as an indication. So if let's say that that's what you're looking for, so yeah, you can always refer back to these. Okay, so of course, I know that it's important that apart from looking at the university's rankings and apart from looking at the subjects rankings, so it's also getting more and more important for students to look at employability and career. So this is definitely some things that our universities and also our career services, they are trying their best to also look at what are the opportunities that our students can apply. So during your time. So, which is why that you can see that a lot of our supports, they are really good, especially from our career services team. And you can see as well here that this is based on the most recent graduate outcomes survey. So those that who the batch that from 2021, which they recently graduated, and 92% of our graduates are in work or further studies within 15 months after graduations. Okay, so a lot of our courses, I would say, is that whether you are going for business, engineering, biomedical science, for example, so you can actually add on a 1 year industry year. So that 1 year industry year, so and we are here talking about undergraduate degree, right? So because undergraduate degree usually you go for 3 years or 4 years, and you can add on another year just for the work experience. So that 1 year will happen a year before your final year. So this is some things where you go over to the university first, and then when you start your second year, that is when you start looking for the jobs, and then you apply for the role, and then you go for the interview. So those supports are available on campus and also school specific as well. We have, for example, our management school. So we actually have our employability hub within the management schools as well. So they will be the one that will be able to guide you. And you can pop by from Monday to Friday, which is like working hours. So you can pop by and ask them any questions that you have, whether it is to look at your CV or whether to guide them on the things that you are not sure on your applications. So those will be available for our students. And I'll also covers how much roughly that you will have to pay for your industry year. So that will be towards the end of the slide together with the tuition fee. So then you can note down later on. Okay. And of course, it's not just about employability as well, because, during your studies that I would say that our universities, we actually have quite a numbers of partnerships with some of the universities in the world as well. So you actually have the options to either go for a 1 year study abroad, or you just want to do like a 1 semesters, or even if let's say that summer school, you can do that as well if you prefer something shorter in length, because of course that will affect your student visas that you applied while your time in the UK, right? So if you want to go for something shorter, which is only during the summer break, you can do that as well. Okay, so you can see that it could be 2 weeks and up to 4 weeks as well. So that's some things that you can apply during your time. And right, next. So you can see that we the university spend quite a lot of money, I would say, in order to improve the facilities for different area of studies that you'll be going for. So the drawn view here, that this is actually our latest building, which is called the Wave, which is where if you are going to study courses like sociology, like digital media societies, or if you are going to study journalism, or even data science, which is what our students are going to join this coming September here. So that would be the main building for majority of your classes. And you can see that a lot of our universities building here, that they actually have their own cafeteria. So that would also means that whether you just want to grab a coffees, or you want to grab a buy sandwiches, so those are easily accessible. Okay, so And it's not just that we invest in the teachings and also learning, but there's also like the studies area, common area, library. Those are available for you to explore as well during your time at the universities. Okay, so next we'll be looking at students' experience. So when you actually study at the university, so what are the things you get to explore? So, the National Student Survey, it just actually announced yesterday. So, and you can see the University of Sheffield leads the Russell Group. So we are actually top in the Russell Group in the National Student Survey. So Sheffield actually received the highest positive response to the survey that asked students to actually feedback on their higher education experience. And you can see that we're also top four for teaching, academic supports, organization and management, and also learning resources, and our student union as well. So we maintain as number one, and this is second year in a row. This is according to NSS. So here you can see that this is based on the Daily Mail. We are the Universities of the Year for Student Experience. So of course, it's not just that we talk about, or you have got this kind of very, very good experience, but you can see that we consistently rank really, really high and top in the numbers of these different kind of rankings, which you can always refer to. But of course, later on, we will ask Yadana as well regarding her experience so far for, I think, at least 9 months already that she's there. Okay.
Yeah, just a long time.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you can see that our student union has been voted the best in the UK for 7 years in a row, and this is according to what uni student choice. So, when you actually go over, so we actually have, at least I think at the moment, more than 350 clubs and societies that you can join. So it depends on what kind of things that you are interested to join. For example, that if you would like to learn something which is outside your study. For example, if I go for business studies, but I'm also interested to learn some of the investment skill, for example. So we have investment societies that you can join. Or if you think that, apart from those that you would like to go, you want to go for something more enjoyable. For example, that maybe you want to explore, the cities. So then perhaps you can go to join some things like a walking club. Then they will take you to different places, and then you will walk in the park or in the Peak District, for example. So there's a lot of things that you can enjoy during your time at the university. So it's not just focused on your academic, because you need, something to get away from your studies as well, that, as it can be quite stressful, just focus on academic, right? And also that there's also the chance for you to join more than about 2,000 different students volunteers. So this is also some things that you can look forward to go for, and it actually helps you to mix around in the cities and with the peoples much faster, I would say. That's also a good chance for you to put yourself and to try it out. Okay. So, like I mentioned just now, so whether you are actually a complete beginner, or you're playing for fun, or even if let's say that you are already, at the expert level of it, so there's always some things for everyone. So we have quite a number of sports facilities as well, within the campus, which is walking distance. So again, it's not very far for you to explore. For example, that if you want to go for like a swimming pool. So in our sports center, so we also have like an indoor swimming pool as well, for example. And in terms of volunteering, just now, like I mentioned, so our award-winning Sheffield volunteering scheme. So it offers the chance for you to actually work with the schools, or you can also work with the charity. So they can actually develop all sort of skills, for example, in coaching, project management, leaderships. So those are the things that you can actually work on as well during your spare time. Okay. And most importantly, I'm sure that you're also very concerned about the place that you'll be staying. So don't worry. You can see is that so we make living in Sheffield easy. So we try our best, to actually ensure that you get a place to stay, which is why that your room are guaranteed. And it's not just for the first year that you'll be studying there. So it's guaranteed even for the second years or for the following years as well. So as long as you want to stay on campus, so you can actually continue to stay every year. And you can see that our accommodations is located within easy reach of the campus. I would say that it depends on which courses that you go for. So you can choose the one that much nearer to the places of your classes, but they're all normally within walking distance. So we can ask Yadana this later on, how she actually go for her classes, whether she need buses. So we can ask her on this later on. Okay. So when you book for the room, normally the renter covered your bill, your utilities, internet connections, and the content insurance as well. And when you book for the room and you confirm that you got an offer for the room, you want to accept that room. So normally you only have to pay £150 to reserve that room. Okay. So, and then in terms of the payment method, so that one normally you can arrange either you want to pay in like 3 installment, or you can pay twice a year, or you can pay one lump sum. Okay. So for next, we will be talking about the price. A bit hang here. Sorry, can you guys still hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Yes,
You can,
Jasmine,
right?
we
Okay,
can
but the
hear.
the screen is hang, right?
Yes, yes, yes. It's okay.
Okay, let me just try to skip. I think I probably have to stop sharing and I'll reshare my screen again.
Yes, it's okay.
All right. You can see my screen now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we are currently on the page for our university's accommodations. As you can see here that we have 42 weeks and also 51 week. So normally for students that who go for undergraduate degree, you will go for the 42 weeks because you study like 9 months, and then you have a 3 month summer break from June to September. And then for master students, normally you go for 51 weeks because you study like September to September. So from here that you can see is that these are the rental, whether this is for 42 weeks only, but then on our website we actually have 51 weeks as well, but I picked those for 42 weeks just to show you how much it actually cost you, whether it is on weekly or whether it is for that whole 42 weeks. Okay. So, majority of the room, you get your own shower room. So 80% of our accommodation, it comes with your own bathroom, and you just have to share the kitchen. So you can see this is the kitchens, and then this is the common area. So each floor, normally you will have these to share. So if you are in the different floor, then you will have to share that on the different level. Okay. And if you look at the university's map here, so if you look at based on the roundabout here, so just right in front of the roundabout is Information Common. This is our 24 hours open library. So Sheffield is actually a city university. And so as a student, you will study and also live close to the city center, which is at the right hand side. Okay. So I would say Sheffield has everything that you would expect to find in a normally in the big cities. So even if let's say you want to do like your groceries or you just want to go for a park, so those are all within walking distance. So you don't really need to spend a lot of money just to take a bus or just to do like a grocery. So no, they all can be done within walking distance, and you can even walk to the train stations as well. If let's say you would like to um take a train to visit your friends or families in another cities. And also that we also have a tram network as well that serve across the city, including some of the part of the campus. Okay. And also, so let's say just now I mentioned about the accommodations which is provided by the universities, right? But there's also a lot of options that available, I would say within Sheffield as well. This is just the accommodation which is offered by Amber, and you can see that they offer quite a numbers of different types of accommodations as well, and they're all within walking distance, so you can choose among those which one that which is preferred for you in terms of the price or in terms of the locations, or whether you want to go for something like a studio. So they have a lot of options, and they normally offer cashback as well. So that's for you guys to actually choose when you would like to go over. We'll normally send those over to our offer holders. Okay, so now we will have a look at the cities. So here, what you can see is that we are quite in the middle of England. So we normally ask you to fly to Manchester Airport, and then we have our pickup service from Manchester Airport, and then we will drop you to Sheffield. So it depends on the courses that you'll be going for. If you go for undergraduate or whether you go for direct masters, then if you arrive within those time frame, then you will get picked up. But otherwise, that it's also quite convenient that you can take the train just next to the airport as well. Even though with your luggage, you can push your luggage and then get to the train stations and then buy the ticket from there. So it's not too difficult because I did that myself, and it's all shaded even though you are with your luggage. Okay, so don't have to worry. So here, what you can see here that so this is according to student crowd. So Sheffield is actually top 5 student cities for eating out. So there's a lot of options available in terms of food, and there's a lot of international cuisines that you can try, whether you want to go for some things that are more Asian. So there's also a lot of choices for you to find, and they're all within walking distance. And Sheffield is in the top 10 most affordable cities. So just now you have already seen how much it costs for you to live for a year in terms of your accommodation, because accommodations normally take the biggest part of your living expenses. The rest is like when you cook, and then whether you, for example, your mobile, normally I would say you can keep between, I would say £20 a month. That would be actually sufficient. Okay. And then you can also see that, like I mentioned just now, Sheffield is the 5th biggest cities in England, and 60% of the cities is green space. So when you are there, you will really see that Sheffield is really green. Within the campus itself, that there's a lot of trees already, and then there's a few gardens as well where you can relax and walk around. Okay, and 10% of the Sheffield's populations are students. So when you're away from home for the first time, it is good to know that you can also enjoy your student's life and still stick to your budgets. So Sheffield is very affordable cities where you will find a lot of student discounts as well on shoppings, or whether on traveling and also eating out. So yeah, so normally that your student card, that will be some things that they will ask if they would like to know that whether you are eligible for the student discount. So there's also for you to explore in the cities. So you will find like arts, culture, history gems, pretty much at every of the street as well. So also that many of the Sheffield Museum and galleries, they're free, or they're being discounted as long as for students. So if you are a theatre lover, so you will find one of the largest regional theatre just outside of London, which is in the Crucible Theatre, which is also a walking distance from campus as well. So normally they offer a much cheaper ticket price as well for young people. So, and the music and nightlife, I've seen a lot of our Myanmar students that they share numbers of what do they normally do at night. So it's like there's a life for young people, but those are the options that being available to you, and you can also join within a group of students that you like. So whether it is from famous music venues or whether to late nights cafes, so we have nearly at least I would say 70 different venues in Sheffield that you can go for. Um, and you can see that whether you want to go for pubs or whether you just want to go for like a food court, so those are also available as well. So this is just like estimations of the budget, I would say. Like I mentioned, because I keep mentioning that it's quite affordable, right? So you can see is that I think now probably the price for the bus is about £1.40. But you can see that pretty much within £10 you can settle your drinks and also a meal as well for a night out, or maximum, so I would say £15, depends on what you're getting. And certain corners in the cities are defined by the food and the drinks that they offer. But the Guardian recently described Sheffield as the UK most exciting food cities. So our students also say that Sheffield offers a lot of fantastic places for you to grab food. And also I would say they always say that it's really convenient. So whether you stay in the Raymond Enclave or whether you stay on the right hand side, which is towards the city centers, so there are things for you to explore as well. But they're all within 15-20 minutes walk, I would say. Okay. And if let's say is that sometimes you would like to get some of the things from some of the Asian stores to cook on your own, so you can see that we have quite a numbers of different Asian supermarkets that you can get all your spices. So those are also easily accessible. And you can see that these are the red color pin, which you will be able to get those Asian grocery done. So yeah, so it's across the cities, I would say. And like I mentioned, so if you're into sports, so there's a lot of things that you can do as well on campus. So whether you just want to actually play it for fun or whether you want to compete with other groups as well, so those are available for you. And also if you want to go for gym memberships as well at the university, so we also have that. But otherwise, if you actually use the one that at your accommodations, so yeah, so it depends on whether you want to go for some things like more professionals or whether you just need some of the machines. Yeah, those will be available for you. And I think this is definitely some things that you would like to explore as well, which is our Peak District. I think it's about 20 minutes away by a bus ride. So I normally recommend students to try out this because you can also go for like a camping as well, which is really fun. And yeah, even if let's say that you end up in another city, so make sure that you try to pop by and arrange for a trip to try this out. Okay. So, in terms of the time frame, so it depends on which background that you guys are coming from. So this is more on, I would say, if you are applying for the undergraduate degree for next year September intake. So this will be the timeline that you can follow in terms of like when you should apply. For example, that if you're applying for medicine and dentistry, so the deadline to apply will be 15 October. Um, and if let's say that you're applying for other courses, then normally the deadline will be 14 January next year. And you can see here that there's two black color deadline. So this is actually the deadline that you should reply to the offer that you receive next year. And universities, they should give you their decision no later than 13 May if you actually applied by 14 January. But if you apply after that, then you can hear back the decisions no later than 15 July. Okay, this is the timeline for next year. And for those that who are joining us this year, because this is still happening, so I didn't actually update for next year. Normally the first day of the class is towards the end of September. That will be the first semesters and then the second semesters. So we normally ask you to actually join the universities or come over to the universities 2 weeks before. So you will start with your orientation week, and then you will also start with then your intro week. So this is normally what you'll be doing during the intro week to, for example, get your computer checked if you want to set up some things, or how do you borrow books, for example, get to know our library services. Okay. So next, it depends on, like I mentioned, which background that you're coming from. So this is for the undergraduate entry. So normally for courses like if you're going for computer science, mechanical engineering, and also aerospace engineering, so the entry requirements normally will be looking at A star AA. And whether you are doing IB or whether you are currently doing OSSD or whether you are doing AP subjects. So I put down the equivalents, but if you need more specific information in terms of subject requirement, you can check with your counselors, experts, and then we can talk about it after this as well. So don't worry about it now. In terms of for those that who are going to join the NCUK pathway, like foundations as well, so you have the options whether you want to do it in Yangon or whether you want to do it in, for example, in Thailand. So they have quite a numbers of different centers that you can go for as well. Um, if let's say is that you would like to go for the so-called degree pathway program as well, this is offered by King's Educations. So you can do that as well. They are also available in Thailand. So they have a centers there as well. But we also accept that as one of the pathway for you to apply to the degree courses. Okay. And for those that who have already completed a bachelor degree, let's say that you completed a bachelor degree in Myanmar, and then you will actually have to do um a so-called pre-master. So if your bachelor degree is 3 to 4 years, but if let's say that your bachelor degree is like engineering in Myanmar, so normally it takes you about 5 to 6 years to complete, then you can actually use that to apply a direct master's. Otherwise, we will normally need you to already hold a master's to apply to our master's program. So that depends on what qualifications that you are coming from. Okay. So this is the pre-sessional program. So they are all closed, I would say by now, apart from 4 weeks. So this is where Yadana went last year, but she instead of going for terms 4, she go for, I think, a different terms, because the different terms will then take a longer time for you to actually complete your English courses. So you can actually take more time to attend the classes. So that depends on whether you want to improve your English communications, or so, which means that at the end of the courses, for example, those that who go over in term 4, so you don't really need to take another IELTS. So you will have different types of the assessment, like here, writing, presentations. Then you will use that as part of your assessment. So apart from that, so you can see that this is the tuition fees for those that who join us for this coming September intake. Okay, so if you are going to actually join us for bachelor degree, let's say that probably you go for business courses, for undergrad degree UG, then this is about 24,000 pounds this year. But we have a fixed fee guarantee. So for this, you will need to check across different universities, because different universities, they have different policies. Some universities, for example, for us, that once you join, your fee will be locked for the 3 years courses that you go for, or it's a 4 years master's engineering, then the fees will be fixed as soon as you join. Okay, so it only increase for the new students that year, but if you are old students, then means the fees are the same every year. Okay, so another things to take note, like I mentioned just now, if you are going for you add on a 1 year industry placement year, right? So example, if you are a business students, so you are currently paying 24,000 pound a year, but then during the industry year, you are going to work for at least 38 weeks for that year. You don't have any classes, so you only pay up to, I would say, 15% tuition fees of that year. So you don't need to pay £24,000 for that year. You only pay 15% fees of that year, and you get paid from the companies that you work for. It depends on what company. So certain companies, they will pay you a certain amount as well. So that will help as part of your living expenses. But bear in mind that this is only applicable for undergraduate degree. Okay, because your courses is 3 to 4 years and you can add on another year. But for master student, because our masters is only 1 year, so they don't have like a so-called for you to add on extra year. Okay. So, and just now I also mentioned about study abroad as well. So the same thing for study abroad. You study, for example, that if you do international business management, so during your second year, you can actually choose to study, let's say in Singapore, Australia, US, Hong Kong, a number of countries like Canada as well. You can actually do it second year for international business management in one of these country, and you don't actually have to pay any fees to these universities because they are our partner universities, and you only pay 15% fees to Sheffield, but you have to cover your own living expenses. So if that's what you are looking for. Okay. So next we'll be talking about the scholarships. So I won't be actually covered a lot because all of the scholarship this year are already closed for 2025. So for 2026, unfortunately, you have to check back in the link here, or you can scan the QR here, because once it is confirmed, it will be updated in the link for 2026. So as you can see here, this is the screen that the highest that we currently offer for undergraduate or for postgraduates is £10,000. Okay, but then there's automatic scholarship here, so which means that it depends on the courses. So that will be up to £2,500. So for the degree, because it's 3 years or 4 years, so you maintain your grades every year, 60% B, then you are going to get the same amount deducted every year. Okay, so you don't really have to apply for this. You just have to accept the offer before a certain deadline. So it's the same as well for master students. Okay. And these are some of our university's web pages where you can actually have a chat with our student ambassador. So I think we have Myanmar students there as well. If you would like to actually have a chat with them, ask them any questions that you have or any concerns. But yeah, later on you'll be able to do this with one of our current students here. And these are just some of the upcoming events. So you can see is that if you are actually a current offer holders and if you'd like to know how you actually apply for your cards and your visa, so we have online sessions that you can join. So this is a UK time. And if you'd like to hear from our current students as well, so we have one session upcoming on the 17th of July. So these are all live online run by Zoom. Okay. So, and for the offer holders, we also have like a Facebook group as well for our offer holders to join the group. So you can actually get to know other students before you actually go over to the universities. And yeah, thank you for listening. So I will stop sharing my screen, and then if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you have questions that you want to ask our current students, so Yadana is here. Hi Yadana. Do you want to share?
Hi, Jasmine.
Yeah. Do you want to share your experience so far in Sheffield?
Yeah, I think Sheffield is a good city.
Yeah, feel free to speak in your language as well. So for those that
Yeah,
who have any questions that you would like to ask her, you can type in the chat box now. Or if you want to unmute yourself, I think you'll be able to do that as well. Yeah,
yeah. Thank you for invitation, Jasmine.
no problem.
Yeah. အမကတော့University of Sheffield မှာအခု pre-sessional course လောလောဆယ်ပြီးထားတဲ့အကျောင်းသူပါပေါ့နော်အမကဒီလာမယ့်September မှာ MSc Data Science ကို offer ရတာပြီးသားပေါ့နော်အာ Sheffield ကတော့တခြားမြို့တွေထက်စားလို့ရှိရင်အာအရန်တက်တာတွေပါတယ်ပေါ့နော်အမရဲ့ living expense ဆိုရင်တစ်လမှာပေါင်200ဒါပေမဲ့အမတစ်ခါလေအပြင်မှာဝယ်စားအများကြီးဆိုရင်ပေါင်300လောက်တော့ကုန်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ချွေတာနိုင်တလောက်ပေါင်100ထိပဲသုံးလို့လည်းအဆင်ပြေရပေါ့နော် ပြောလို့ရှိရင်အမလောလောဆယ် Ellen ခေါမှာနေရယ်သူကကျောင်းဆောင်နဲ့တော်တော်နီးရယ်ကျောင်း classroom နေနဲ့တော်တော်နီးရယ်အဲ့ဒီအတွက်ကြောင့်အမ Ellen ခေါကိုရွေးလိုက်တာပေါ့နော်တခြားရွေးချယ်စရာ option တွေအများကြီးရှိရယ်အာ Jasmine ပြောသွားတယ်လို့ပဲ Ramshaw Enclave and then Ellen Court Ellen Court ကတော့ Diamond တို့ The Wave တို့နဲ့အနီးဆုံးပေါ့နော် The Wave ကတော့ Ramshaw ထက်ပိုနီးရယ်အာဘတ်စကားတွေပါရေးစီးလို့ရှိရင်တော့အဆင်ပြေရပေါ့နော် RAM show ကကိုမြဲတဲ့ဘတ်စကားစီးနိုင်ရင်တော့အဆင်ပြေရယ်သူကကျောင်း student discount နဲ့ဆိုရင်တော့တစ်ပေါင်နဲ့50 pence လောက်ပဲကျရဲပေါ့နော်ပြောလို့ရှိရင်Ellen Court ကတော့ city center မှာရှိရဆိုတော့ RAM show တို့ enclave တို့တဲ့ဆိုင်အများကြီးပိုစီကြည့်ရယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ကျောင်းဆောင်တို့classroom တို့ IC တို့ IC ဆိုတာ information common ကအမားတို့ရဲ့ one of the library ပေါ့နော် University of Sheffield ရဲ့ one of the library အာအဲ့ဟာနဲ့ဆိုရင်5 minute လောက်ပဲ5 minute လောက်ပဲကွာတယ်ပေါ့နော်။ time မိုးနဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်း5 minute လောက်ပဲကွာတယ်ဆိုတော့ Ellen Call ကတော့အဓိကအချက်ချာကြတဲ့ accommodation တစ်ခုဖြစ်တယ်။ Ramshaw တို့Enclave တို့ကြတော့ undergrad တွေလည်းများတယ်ပြီးတော့လို့ရှိရင်ကိုကgreen space ကြိုက်တယ်ဒီ city life ကိုမကြိုက်ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင် Ramshaw နဲ့ Enclave မှာနေလို့ရတယ်။တော့ Ellen Court တဲ့အများကြီးဈေး2000လောက်ဈေးသက်သာရပေါ့နော်အမအစက Ramshaw ကိုရွေးထားတာ Ramshaw မှာနေရဒါပေမဲ့အမရဲ့အဆောင်ကcity center ဘက်မှာရှိတော့တော်တော်ဝေးတယ်အနည်းဆုံးမိနစ်20လောက်သွားရဲဆိုတော့ winter ဆိုအဆင်မပြေဘူး south day ဆိုအဆင်မပြေဘူးအမနေ့တိုင်းလည်းဘတ်စကားမစီးချင်ဘူးပေါ့နော်တနေ့ကိုတစ်ပေါင်နဲ့ပြောင်းလာဆိုထွက်တယ်နှစ်လောက်အသွားပြန် return ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ပဲပေါင်3ပေါင်လောက်ဖြစ်နေပြီပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့အမအဆင်မပြေနေဘူးပုံမှန်ဆိုရင် winter ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ညနေ3နာရီလောက်ဆိုရင်နေရာမရှိတော့ဘူးနေမရှိတော့ဘူးမိုးချုပ်သွားပြီဆိုတော့အဆင်ပြေမနေရောအမ Ellen ခေါ်ကိုပြောင်းလိုက်တာကျောင်း request လုပ်ပြီးတော့ပေါ့နော်တော့ကိုကစဉ်းစားပေါ့နော်ပြီးတော့ဟို Jasmine recommend ပေးသွားတဲ့ night house Fenton တို့ဘာတို့ကဒီကျောင်းဆောင်ထက်ဆိုင်အများကြီးတက်တာတယ်ကို spice လုပ်ကြည့်ပေါ့နော်ဒါပေမဲ့ဒီ maintenance တွေပါအပိုင်းတွေကြတော့ဒီကျောင်းဆောင်ကပို့ပြီးတော့အားတာရလို့ပြောလို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်ပြီးသွားလို့ရှိရင်အာဒီမှာချက်စားလို့ရှိရင်တော့ပိုတန်တယ်ချက်သားတွေပါလေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းတပူးမှ2ပေါင်3ပေါင်လောက်ပဲရှိရချက်စားနိုင်တော့ကိုယ့်ရဲ့ living expense ကိုထွေးတာနိုင်ဆုံးပေါ့နော်အပြင်မှာစားလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဥမာတရုတ်ခောက်ဆွဲကြော်တပွဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင်12ပေါင်13ပေါင်လောက်တော့ရှိရယ်နေ့တိုင်းလို့အပြင်မှာစားမယ်ဆိုရင်တော့အဆင်မပြေဘူးပတ်တိုင်းကကြတော့ရှက်ဖီးကနည်းနည်းပြောမယ်ဆို student city ဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ပတ်တိုင်းကတော့နည်းနည်းရှားတယ်ကိုကကြောင်းအလုပ်တွေရှာနိုင်တော့အဆင်ပြေရယ်အာ career connect အမားတို့မှာ muse account ရှိရယ် career connect ကနေအကြောင်းအလုပ်တွေရှာနိုင်အဆင်ပြေရယ်ဒီမှာ cash job တွေလည်းရှိရယ်ဒါပေမဲ့အမားကတော့ cash job ကို recommend မပေးဘူး NI job နဲ့လုပ်တာပိုအဆင်ပြေရယ်ပေါ့နော် yeah that's all my experience yeah
No problem. So, yeah, I didn't see any questions. Is there anyone else have any things that you would like to ask for today? Since, yeah, I think, yeah, sorry.
ဟုတ်ညီမလေးရတနာမီလားမသိဘူးsharing လုပ်ပေးသွားတာကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်အမတို့ဘက်ကနေပြီးတော့student ဒီ question တွေရှိရပေါ့အဲ့ဒါတွေပို့ပေးပါမယ်เนาะခဏလေး Hello Jasmine
Yeah.
We have one question I will drop this tab up
Okay, so how many scholarships do we have? So it depends on the level of studies that you're going for. If you're going for undergraduate degree, so for undergraduate degree, currently, for 2025, we have two scholarships. So one of them is actually the automatic scholarship, which is 2,000 or 2,500 pound, and then the higher amount one, it's actually the merit scholarships. So the merit scholarship is the where you will have to get an offer letter and then you have to apply for it. So even though we have two, right, but you will only be able to get one of them. But like I say, for 2026, we're not sure what they're going to be offering for next year. So which is why that you should check back again with the counselors here. When we confirm, we will definitely let them know what we're offering for next year. Okay. So another question is, do we have any internship program after the graduation? So for internships, if you're actually doing undergraduate degree, because undergraduate degree every year you have a 3 months summer break, right? So I normally recommend students to go for internships or volunteering from the first year during their summer break. Or even if let's say that during your studies as well, you can also apply for internship opportunities. So don't wait until after your graduation, because after your graduations, that will be the time that you should work on looking for like a jobs, whether you go for the graduate visas by the time that you finish, or if let's say that there is no more graduate visas by the time that you finish your studies, then that will be the time that you should focus on looking for jobs from the companies so that you apply for the skill work visa. So that depends on what's available in terms of the immigrations, yeah, when you finish your studies. And the next questions, how many do you have and nearest intake that you can apply? So the next available intake is only in September, I would say. So most of our courses, whether you go for masters or whether you go for undergraduate degree, so that will start in September, unless it depends on your background studies, because we have our pathway as well, which is that you can apply for the international foundation year, or you can also go for the international year one. So those are available in a different start state. So we have like September for foundations, January and March. But if you are going for the next, which is the international year one, so international year one, currently we have it for business and also economics as well for undergraduate degree. So that will actually start in January. So when you start in January, you will finish by latest, I think 1st of September. Then you will start your degree by the end of September. Okay. And what's the famous major for Sheffield? Okay, so if I were to tell you that I think we currently have at least, I think, 80 Burmese students that on campus. Um, 80 of them, they're doing quite, I would say, very different courses. Some of them are doing different types of engineering. Some of them are doing business and also accounting. Some of them are doing data science, psychology, biomedical science. So it's really come, I would say, it range different field. But if you would like to look at the subject ranking, so which is what I shared just now, which is the subject in terms of which subjects are in good in the UK ranking, and also then you can refer to like Complete University's Guide, Sunday Times, Good University. So there's a number of different rankings that you can refer to.
Okay ကျောင်းသားကျောင်းသူတို့ပေါ့နော် Jasmine ကိုမေးဖို့အတွက်မေးခွန်းလေးရှိသေးလားမေးခွန်းမရှိတော့ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အမားတို့ဒီ webinar လေးကိုအပ်လိုက်ပါတော့မယ် Oh sorry I have another question
Yep.
Sorry. I will drop this chat.
Yeah. Grade 12. Can I know when grade 12 does it means the IGCSE or matriculations? Or is it, yeah. If let's say that the grade 12 is matriculation, so IGCSE, then yes, you will have to go for foundation program. And then the foundation program will be under our pathway provider, which is study group. So you will need to actually also go for the IELTS UKVI. And that's to meet the English requirement. And then you can progress to computer science and AI. And then during your studies, if it's foundations, I think they have I can't be sure. I think it's probably 16 hours, but it will be stated on your visas how many hours of maximums that you can do during your study for foundations. But for the degree, normally you can work up to 20 hours per week. So, but like I said, you have a 3 month summer break. So during the break time, you can actually work full time. So in terms of job after the bachelor, so again, that would depends on whether by the time that you finish your degree, whether the UK government they still have the 2 years or 18 months so-called graduate route or work visa. So that would depends on the immigration status, I would say.
Yes, I think there is no more question here. So we are under the webinar, Jasmine.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. So you
yes.
end the session now, right?
Thank you for your presentation and thank you for Yelena.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye
You.
Bye
bye. Thank
bye.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.